Hey, good morning. I'm Damini Celebree, and welcome to Connect In. Connect In is a weekly video podcast, I guess I want to call it, or a blogcast. I don't know. Um, it's a weekly broadcast to share with you tools of why it's important to get out of our head and back into our body, right? And so I wanted to try something a little bit different today. There is always construction when I do one of these things, no matter what time it is. But actually, that's why we need to um, see, that's what happens, right? So here's the thing. I do these every week because I think it's so super important that we learn skills to keep us centered and grounded and not get like distracted when there's things going on around us. Because you know what? There are things going around us all the time. And they distract us, they pull us away from what's essential. And, sometimes, I am the queen of squirrel, what's coming up next. But, when there's so much construction happening right here. So let's start again. The thing is we can't fight the world, right? We can't, I mean, even if you were in a really secluded spot somewhere in the country, something would still get your distraction or would still distract you. So when we learn skills to get grounded and centered and come back inside our body, then we're centered. We are sovereign with ourselves and we're more focused. We're clear. And you know what? When we're also centered and clear in our body, we can listen to our heart. Our mind, yes, woulda, shoulda, coulda, gotta, do, right? Brilliant. The mind is brilliant at getting us into actions. But the mind does not allow us to vision, to dream, to our mind keeps us from connecting to our heart and soul. When we are up in our heads, we cannot listen to our inner guidance, right? So, not only getting out of your head and back into your body and heart is essential just to keep you kind of centered and grounded in who you are at any given moment throughout the day, it also helps you connect into your inner guidance. So you don't have to look outside yourself for answers over and over again. And just a little pause here in this moment because I am squirrely. I also want to invite you to go ahead and look at my website. So in a couple weeks, I am starting my annual flagship program called Deep Happiness. Deep Happiness is skills, energetic, um, energy medicine skills. Deep Happiness teaches you tools to live an authentic life. Because for me, living um, authentically as you are, without trying to morph yourself into being something else, is what deep happiness is. So, DaminiCelebrate.com/online programs, deep happiness. You will be you will be transformed. That's all I want to say. Okay, so back to the reason why we come back into our body. So, we have our mind, we do a lot of thinking, processing, analyzing. Our body does a lot of feeling and all of that. And what's super important about that is when we come into our body, we are being guided by our heart, right? We can also, when we're in our body and doing things that kind of distract the mind, we can actually really get great insight. That is why I use the embodied creative processes, because the embodied creative processes absolutely overrides the mind, gets your inner critic in check, and in a way, you drop into your subconscious, your unconscious, and you kind of open up an invitation for your soul to speak through you. And so your soul speaks through you through, in this exercise I'm going to show you today, through color, shape, and form. Because really, when you are being pushed or held back by some huge limiting belief that you can't put words to, you have to find another way. The other way for me, and I believe profoundly in the healing power of embodied creativity, when we get there, our the creative process allows our soul to process what no longer serves us and starts to give us some direction towards what will serve us. So I'm going to try something super crazy here. Of course, I'm having a technology moment. I'm going to share a video as we're going on in this process. And the reason I want to share this is I've been having kind of a really intense week, and a week where I just felt, well, like a failure. I felt like I really just could not believe in myself anymore. And you know what? Shine On, being authentic, is really about allowing all emotions to be present. You know, give me a heart if that resonates with you, because it's super important to honor where you are. And it's super important to allow your emotions to have some space as well. You know, because I'm an energy medicine person, when we kind of push our emotions back, we're actually slowing down our energy, our vitality, our flow. And when we slow that down, you know, things just don't happen. Okay, so here we go. uh, sorry. Okay. All right. So anyway, I was feeling a bit off, a failure, not good enough, you know, blah, 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 blah. And so today I decided to go back to walking my talk and allowing my body to kind of process what I was feeling. And so I'm going to let this go on for a little while we're talking. And I'm hoping that you get both, and you get to see me, hear me, and this process at the same time. Um, we'll see how this goes. Anyway, so the reason I decided to show you this process is I just wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit more. The thing is we kind of think that when we do some sort of internal process, drawing, writing, meditating, any of that stuff, right? We often think that we should feel better at the end, that we should have some clarity at the end, that we should be all rainbows and unicorns again, or whatever that is. Okay, that's my bullshit coming up right now. But the truth is sometimes during the process, sometimes coming into an embodied practice just gives you the space to feel all that you're feeling. Sometimes it just gives you the opportunity to honor every little thing that you're feeling, right? And in this case, I was feeling like a failure. Was, is, am. um, and I guess I went to this process to kind of understand understand in my body, not in my head. My head's got a gazillion stories why. But the trigger of being a failure is a really old pattern that shows up. I really do believe that our inner critic shows up when we are at a precipice of change. And you all probably had that experience, like you're about to do something really big, something that really goes beyond your norm, kind of pushes your growth. And then all of a sudden you're like, I can't, no, stop, etc., etc., right? That's like the inner critic going, stop, you cannot go any further, thank you very much. That doesn't serve you. And so this embodied process helps me kind of understand, or I was hoping it would help me understand exactly, isn't that such a mind word? I want to understand exactly what's going on. That's my mind trying to keep some parameters on what I'm feeling. But the truth is I went into this process today to kind of figure out where that pattern of failure was in my body, how it wanted to be expressed with color, shape, and form. And then I wanted it to be all better. Isn't that the joke of the universe? I just wanted it to be all better. Well, in this process, which seems to be running super slow, I'm going to just fast forward a little bit. Um, I really, what showed up today in this painting was the beautiful experience of just being present with the failure. And, really, we do not give ourselves enough time to be present with all our emotions. In fact, I really think about all emotions are welcome. In five element acupuncture, and I know some of you who've watched my videos or taken programs with me have heard this before, but in five element acupuncture, the function of the heart is to allow all emotions to move through, right? Because when things come into the heart, we feel. So, to shorten that, we need to, for a healthy, harmonious life, allow all emotions, allow ourselves to feel all emotions, not just happy or elated or empathetic, but anger and grief and sadness and all those other kind of things that show up. The thing about being an authentic you is to honor all the emotions that are coming up, to allow them to flow and not to lose yourself in them, right? That's the sovereign part. So, in the five element theory of the heart, health is allowing all emotions to flow, hence, you feeling all emotions. When any emotion gets stuck, that creates illness, simply. Illness of emotion, illness of spirit, illness eventually to the body itself. And, I think of practicing acupuncture for almost 25 years. That still is the most important concept that I hold. And so, and it's also why I really love the embodied creative process, because we do not give ourselves permission to allow all emotions to be present, right? We keep everything, some of us keep them on a very tight box, in a very tight box, maybe with a lid, maybe with some bolts on top. But to allow all motions to flow is how we are in flow with life. To not let these emotions kind of, or sorry, I got distracted by looking at the drawing. When we allow all emotions to flow, we are in the flow of our life, in the flow of our soul, and we can actually have a sense of freedom. The embodied process gives us the space to do that. I show it in painting and drawing or writing a lot, but I also do this process with just sheer movement by putting music on and just allowing my body to move. Move, write, draw, breathe, all of it. That's how you transform. So when you connect into yourself, you connect into what your heart holds essential, what your heart and soul, how your heart and soul are leading you, guiding you, how your heart and soul know that you are ready to let go of some big old limiting pattern that's holding you back. Now, again, the mind cannot process all of that. In fact, the mind can only process probably about 2%, if that, of what you're really thinking and feeling. When you come back into the embodied creative practices, you're not thinking. You're allowing flow and movement. And if we go back to that 5-element heart model, that allows you to have freedom. Freedom to be and honor all that you are. And, I'm giving you the kind of Cliff Note version of all of that. But again, if you are looking to transform, if you are looking to connect into that person that you always, always knew that you wanted to be, go ahead and check out the Deep Happiness Program. If you're watching this video after the Deep Happiness Program ran, because it's a yearly program, look at Tools of the Heart. That's the next step, or the first step, if you will. Anyway, so in this process of painting this morning, I'm going to fast forward just a little bit more. It just got uglier and uglier, and I got more and more frustrated and angry because, well, shit, I was not getting any more clarity. I wanted something to happen. I wanted it to change, and I wanted it to feel better. The truth is it really gave me the opportunity to feel where and how failure feels in my body. Let all of what failure slows down and gunks up in my body to have some expression, because it doesn't, it could be failure, it could be heartbreak, it could be love, it could be any of those things. But if something just stays stuck, then I'm not going anywhere. Then we are not growing. Part of being a human being, or a soul-filled being, or a heart-centered being is growth. And if we're not having growth, there's death, right? Just look at the trees. That's what they do all the time. So my invitation to you this week is, just take some time and honor whatever's coming up. If it looks like numbness, if it feels like numbness, or it feels like happy, or it feels like sad, just be present with all that you're feeling. That is the biggest, biggest gift that you can give yourself. And if you want to learn more about tools to live a heart-centered life, please go over to DaminiCelebrate.com and let's work together. So I hope you got to see that just a little bit. I will put that video up on a blog post in a little while. But for now, think about this. All emotions are welcome. Connect into your body. Connect into what you're feeling by simply breathing and bringing your attention to your feet on the ground. And instead of pushing things away, emotions away, just pause and go, oh, there are you. There you are, anger. And there you are, that unexpected, un, unnameable feeling that just makes me stop breathing and contract and all those things. And oh, hello, you, that makes me want to do that. Your motto for the week is all emotions are welcome. So thanks for watching. I hope this was, I hope, I hope it served you. Until next week, sending you much love and an invitation to let yourself get a little free by allowing all emotions to be present. Bye-bye.